BTS members' moments together are always a highlight for fans, especially when it involves BTS Jin and J-Hope. Recently, after J-Hope completed his military service, he decided to celebrate the special moment by taking Jin to dinner with his family. The relationship between J-Hope and Jin is already very close, and J-Hope often considers Jin as part of his own family. The dinner was a moment that not only strengthened the family relationship, but also showed how close the two idols are. When J-Hope was discharged from the military, he not only returned to entertainment but also to the warmth of his family and loved ones. In gratitude for his return to normal life, J-Hope invited Jin to join him for dinner with his family. Jin, who has long been considered part of J-Hope's family, gladly accepted the invitation. On that night, Jin arrived at the restaurant with J-Hope's family wearing a cream-colored jacket that fit him perfectly and exuded his charm. The outfit Jin chose was simple yet elegant, exuding his warm and polite personality. His charming appearance immediately caught the attention of J-Hope's family, especially since it had been quite some time since they last met. What made this moment even more special was the presence of Youngda-won, J-Hope's older sister. Jin and Youngda-won have not seen each other for a long time, almost 2 years, due to Jin's busy schedule with BTS and J-Hope's military service. Their meeting this time certainly brought an atmosphere of happiness and intimacy. Jin, who is known for his friendly personality, was immediately warmly welcomed by Youngda-won and J-Hope's entire family. J-Hope's father, who was also present at the dinner, warmly welcomed Jin. J-Hope's father is known to be very kind and supportive of J-Hope's relationship with his friends in BTS. It's no surprise that J-Hope's father accepted Jin like family. The kindness and humility of J-Hope's family made Jin feel comfortable and welcomed with affection. Not only that, Youngda-won's presence also added to the warmth of the evening. Jin and Youngda-won, although they had not seen each other for a long time, were able to interact intimately again. They talked about everything from their daily lives to their memories of the last time they met. Jin, who is always polite and respectful of others, made meeting J-Hope's older sister feel very natural. One of the most moving stories of their relationship is about how Jin interacted with J-Hope's father during the early days of their career, which Jin recounted during one of the live sessions on Weverse. The moment gave an insight into the deep connection between Jin and J-Hope's family, and how Jin influenced and supported J-Hope to become the success he is today. During the live broadcast on Weverse, Jin recalled a very personal story about J-Hope's father. At that time, J-Hope was still in the early stages of trying his luck in entertainment, especially in dance. J-Hope's father, who was initially not very supportive of his son's interest in dance, eventually changed his mind after J-Hope determinedly performed a dance in front of him. Jin recounted that J-Hope's father was previously skeptical of J-Hope's career choice, but the moment when J-Hope danced in front of his father was a pivotal turning point. At that moment, J-Hope's father began to support his son wholeheartedly. This change in J-Hope's father's attitude not only gave J-Hope tremendous moral support, but also became one of the biggest boosters in his career. Jin, in his humorous style, recalled that he saw how much family support plays a role in shaping an artist's confidence and passion to forge ahead in a competitive world like K-pop. However, the story of J-Hope's father doesn't end with a tale of family support. Jin then shared a very profound message from his own father. In their early days as trainees, Jin's father had left Jin a short but meaningful message. The message read, "Please take care of my son and please guide him so that you can both succeed in the future." Although the message was simple, Jin understood the great expectation and responsibility that lay behind those words. As someone older in the group, Jin always tries to look after and guide his friends. During the live broadcast, Jin told the story with a lot of laughter. He said that after all this time, he felt he had succeeded in his mission because J-Hope was now a successful international artist. Jokingly, Jin said that he had made J-Hope a global star. Of course, the fans watching the live broadcast laughed at Jin's way of telling it. Not only is J-Hope's father grateful to Jin, but J-Hope himself has always felt grateful for the support Jin has given him throughout their careers. Jin may not always be at the forefront or in the media spotlight, but he plays an important role behind the scenes in keeping the group dynamic. Jin's influence on BTS is often not directly visible to the media or public. Jin is known to be a humble person and doesn't really like to put himself out there. However, to the members and those close to him, Jin is a very important pillar. Jin always knew how to take BTS in a better direction, even if he did it in a way that wasn't always flashy. Not only did he focus on his own development, but he was also always thinking about the progress of the group as a whole. Although many people see Jin as humorous and easygoing, underneath it all he has a very high emotional intelligence. He knows when to be serious and when to joke around, and this is what makes him so respected by the other members of BTS. Jin is often a confidant for the other members when they face problems or pressure. With his wisdom, Jin can always give them the right advice. Jin also has a great influence when it comes to creativity. As an artist, Jin always encouraged BTS to keep experimenting with new music and concepts. Jin is a risk-taker when it comes to artistic endeavors. And until recently, this time Jin did something different from the norm. He gave a car review which turned out to be one of his hobbies. The car he was reviewing was his favorite model, which he had been dreaming of trying out. As Jin begins to explain the specifications of the car, his relaxed and humorous manner immediately makes the audience laugh. Instead of giving an in-depth technical explanation, Jin takes a more personal and humorous approach. He talked about how he had always imagined driving this car someday, and joked that it was a dream car that was perfect for someone with his tastes. Every time Jin mentioned a feature or advantage of the car, he would insert a joke that kept the atmosphere light and full of laughter. For example, when he explained about the car's speed, he jokingly said, "If this car is faster than Suga when he raps, maybe I need to be careful," as Jin began to take the car for a test drive. In the beginning, Jin seemed quite confident. However, as time went on, it was clear that he was starting to feel a little nervous. Jin candidly admitted that it had been a while since he had driven himself because during his military service, he spent more time without interacting with vehicles. One of the most memorable moments in the episode was when Jin stopped at a red light and said that he felt like he was taking his driving test again. "It's been so long since I've been behind the wheel," he said, chuckling. "I almost forgot what it feels like to drive myself. I think I need to practice some more after this." Although Jin admits that he felt a little nervous, it didn't take away from his enjoyment of the car.